What's up, YouTube? The Rain Man here. In this video, I'm going to be going over the secret dungeon that's coming up this weekend. Come to Us tends to give us a secret dungeon about every couple of weekends for a 3-star monster. Typically, you can use them for fodder, skilling up a more powerful version of it, or making more powerful monsters yourself. But of course, that's on a personal basis as to however you see fit. But as you can see, if it'll load, wow, thinking about it. So there's going to be the Wind Mummy this time. So he's going to be available. So you can start running this dungeon starting tomorrow, February 17th, or tomorrow as the recording of this video. He'll be available tomorrow, starting at 12 p.m. or 3 p.m. where I'm at anyway, on the East Coast. So you can run this dungeon as many times as you want. There's no limit. Of course, you need to get, if you can beat all 10 floors, it's 4 pieces. So you require 40 pieces to summon one. So you'll need to complete all 10 floors 10 times. If you can't complete 10 floors, you do get pieces. I think it's after the 4th wave. You can, waves, not floors. After completing the 4th wave, you actually start getting pieces consistently. So you should get, I think it's 1 piece at wave 1. At wave 4, you get 1 piece. Completing of wave 6, you get 2 pieces. Completing of wave 8, you get 3 pieces. Completing a wave 5, you get 1 piece. There's a chance you can get 2 pieces. Completing of wave 7, you get 2 pieces, and there's a chance you can get 3. If you can complete wave 9, you get 3 pieces, but there's also a chance of you getting 4 pieces. That chance is kind of slim. You probably got about a 10% chance probably of getting that bonus piece. It doesn't happen very often. So yeah, the dungeon's going to be available this weekend. So we'll look and see what he does here. If I can find him in the listing. Alright, there he is. So you can see him. He's got 2 moves when you first get him. Once he's awakened, he gets a 3rd move. Or actually, I think it's a passive. Yeah, it's passive. Okay. His first move is generally the same for all the mummies. Attacks enemy 2 times with each chance having a 20% chance to inflict continuous damage for 1 turn. The damage of this attack will increase according to your max HP. So, make him hit hard, get him a lot of HP. At max 4-star, his HP is 5610. But at max 6-star, level 40, his max HP is at 10,380. So he gets up there a little bit. It's not as high as some other monsters, but he's up there. So his second skill slams the body with the enemy at the cost of 10% of your current HP, dealing 20% of your current HP to the enemy as damage. So it sounds like it's kind of similar to Spectra's second skill, where it costs 10% of your health and does damage. Spectra's does damage based on the enemy's HP. This one does damage based on your HP. This one does based on your HP, your HP, not your max HP, your HP. So if you're low on health, you're not going to hit as hard with this move. If you got full health, you're going to hit harder. So it's probably a move you want to use early on if you were to use this guy. So his 3rd skill, or his passive, becomes immune to continuous damage. So he cannot take your dots. So keep that in mind. When being attacked, the attackers will suffer continuous damage for 1 turn. So whenever he gets hit, the person attacking him actually gets a dot on him. So that could be beneficial or annoying. But that's his skills. As for where he could what you could use him for, you could probably build him for possibly arena defense. Uh, I don't know if the passive activates for each hit if it's a multi-hit move, like Vertihill's first move or Lucian's amputation magic, which hits 6 times, I think. I don't know if you get a dot for each hit, um, but you will pretty much can count on getting a dot for that if someone was to hit them. Uh, I can't recall where I've actually seen any of these monsters at, maybe in TOA or whatnot. I don't remember if you get a dot for each hit or if you get a dot just for hitting them. So if you got a 6-hit move or move the hit 6 times, you may only get 1 dot for it, or you may get a dot for each hit. That I do not know for sure. So, but so maybe once you start running the arena, once I start running the arena as well, I can actually know for sure if it's a single attack or if it's per single attack or it's per actual hit. But so it's you could probably build it for arena defense, maybe guild battle defense. Could be a little annoying if they're getting dotted a lot, especially if they're getting hit. If it does dot per hit, they're probably not. You may actually force them to think about it. Maybe they'll come in with only single hit nukers, maybe, or instead of multi hit nukers like Lucian. Like I said, if he gets a dot for each hit, that's 6 dots. That's up to 6 dots Lucian could get right then and there. And that's up to 30% HP on his next turn that he's going to lose immediately. So he could be arena defense capability. He is tanky. I said his first skill is HP based. His second, both his attack skills are HP based. So you may want to build him with a lot of HP. His HP, I think, is probably the second lowest of the mummies. I think his HP is actually the same as the dark mummy. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say the dark mummy has a higher attack, but the wind mummy has a little higher defense. So you may want to put some defense on him. Get some of his defense substats put in place. Maybe some guard runes, energy runes. Energy runes for the HP, guard runes to increase that defense up. So of course he can be defense broken, so that you may not want to put too much into a primary. You may want to get as much defense substats as possible on your runes for him, if you plan on building him. Now as for strategy wise, as to attacking the secret dungeon, like I said, the passive, whoever hits him is going to get a dot. It may be per attack or maybe per hit. So if someone like earlier Lucian hits 6 times, he may get 6 dots, or it may just be 1 dot. So if you're when going in, you may want to bring in someone who cleanses, such as maybe Veramos. He'll cleanse a debuff for each turn. Granted, if you get a lot of debuffs on you, he's only going to cleanse 1. So a healer might be ideal to bring in with you whenever you start running the secret dungeon. Also, someone who does immunity, such as or a cleanser. I'm sorry. Good cleanser might be. We had a secret dungeon not long ago for this one. Olivian. She'll cleanse. He's got a move that cleanses the whole team. Nope. Yeah, that one. Increases the attack bar of all allies by 40% and removes all harmful effects. So if you got a lot of dots on your team, might want to bring her along with the team, maybe for cleansing purposes. Also, the attack bar boost is not a bad thing. It may get you to move sooner. If you're bringing wind monsters, she's got a defense lead, so that could be beneficial. Of course, it's just for wind monsters, of course. I said Veramos, he has a cleanse as well, but it's only 1 turn. It's only one debuff. Removes a weakening effect. So he's going to remove one weakening effect for each turn. So that's not going to do a lot, but it'll be better than nothing. Someone for immunity, you could probably, if you're lucky enough and have one, and I'm not. He'll load. There we go. I believe he's got, removes all harmful effects on allies, grants them immunity for 3 turns, and increases the attack bar by 30%. So this grants them immunity for 3 turns. Also keep in mind, unlike scenarios and the giants, dragons, and necro dungeons, your buffs and debuffs carry over from wave to wave. So if you've got 5 dots on your monster when you complete that wave, when you start the next wave, you've still got those dots. So someone who cleanses and someone who casts immunity and removes and cleanses is a good thing. Another one that you might more likely have is Delphoy. Delphoy removes all harmful effects on all allies and grants immunity for 2 turns, and recovering 20% of their HP. So she has a heal with it. So they got immunity for 2 turns, 1 turn less than Veligil, but she also heals. So it could be beneficial. So you may want to bring, like I said, bring someone who cleanses, someone who has immunity. If you have someone that does both, that's great. So just keep that in mind, because there's probably going to be a lot of dotting going on when you're running this dungeon. And I just got right back away from that mummy. Of course, with it being a wind team, fire. You're going to want to have fire in there. Fire's strong against wind, so it'd be a good idea to have some fire monsters in there if at all possible. The resistance, the actual weakness that wind has to fire, may actually benefit you. You may not actually get as many dots whenever you hit them, so that's a possibility as well. So, but like I said, whenever you're going in, keep in mind you're going to get dotted. Your team's going to have dots on them. You get someone who hits an AOE with someone like Veramos. He has a stomp. He hits them all. He's got a dot for every monster he hit. There's a chance of him having a dot for every monster he hits. So you may want to, like I said, have immunity. Have someone who cleanses. I don't mean you might not need both of them, but you're going to need at least one of them. Of course, fire monsters. Tanky HP monsters are probably a good idea as well. Because I said dots, HP based attackers. You may want someone who has a heal as well. The first one I can think off the top of my head is Ritesh. He has his second skill heals. Will heal 1 monster, so that may be beneficial if you got someone who can heal a single target. But like I said, the primary thing you have to worry, I don't foresee this dungeon being very difficult. Like I said, it's all wind, so if you got fire and wind, dark, light monsters going in there, you should be okay with at least being able to get through it, depending upon your level of your monsters and your level as well, of course. If you're level 20 trying to run this dungeon, it's going to take you a few attempts to go through it, and you're not going to get to wave 10. You're more than likely not going to get to wave 10, more than likely. So keep that in mind. As for any of the secret dungeons or Hollow Heroes, I suggest that you do go and try and at least farm 1. You never know when the monster's going to get buffed. They may buff, the mummy may get buffed, a month down the road, and you've got 1 in storage, or you've still got the pieces sitting there that you've not summoned. You can use it. Maybe the attacker server continuous damage is unresistible. Maybe they make that adjustment to it. Come to us as constantly buffing the monsters and nerfing monsters to try and keep things balanced. So there's a possibility of that. So keep that in mind. Like I said, as for the pieces, I'll show you real quick on mine. Like I said, you don't have to summon them. Once you hit the 40 pieces, you don't have to summon the 40 pieces. As you can see, I got 3 fire imps right there. So you can see, you hold on to the pieces, leave them in storage, let them sit there. I've got monsters in here, and I've run secret dungeons from time to time, just just for the mana and some of the pieces. Like I said, you just hang on to the pieces. You never know when something's going to get buffed. Or maybe this partner gets buffed. Maybe the fire gets a buff. Maybe the water one gets a buff. Well, and you've got one in storage. You also got some wind pieces now. You can scale them up quickly. So I always suggest at least farming one. Don't ignore it when it comes around. Get you at least one piece. Get you at least one monster. Get enough pieces to get that one monster. And like I said, you don't have to summon it. You know, or if you want to, you can summon it, throw them in storage, and let them sit there. So, but as for myself, I know I have a Delphoy, so more than likely I'll be using Delphoy on my team, just to help, just for the immunity reasoning, or for the immunity purposes. So, like I said, I don't want my team dying because of dots. So, and you really don't want that happening either. So, but like I said, that starts tomorrow as of the recording of this video. But if you have any suggestions or any comments, feel free to put them at the bottom. And I wish everyone good luck in getting themselves a wind mummy. Until next time, have fun. Later.